Hello, how are you today? Today we're going to talk about outmaneuvering obstacles. But before we get into that, put in the chat, say hi, and tell me where you're from so I can have a discourse because this is social media, right? But today we're going to be talking about how to get around all those obstacles that come within our pathways as life goes on. It's part of life, right? Hi, I'm Kelly Lee Sappenfield. I'm a fifth generation metaphysician, soul evolution coach, speaker, and author. And like I said, let's talk about those obstacles that come up. I mean, they come up. It's life. There's things we think we're doing really well. We've gotten the technique or the tools or the package or the program that we think we need to implement, and then obstacles come up. Or it doesn't work as we think it's going to work. And we have to be able to pivot. We have to be able to learn to move around when things aren't going as we thought they were going to go. Or sometimes things have been going great and things like a pandemic happen, and all of a sudden what worked in 2019 is no longer working. But have you fully changed up what is no longer working? Have you outmaneuvered those obstacles that have come up this year? Because A, you may be working from home if you weren't working from home before. B, maybe, you're concerned about your health because maybe you have some of those underlying conditions that make you concerned to go out with COVID. But obstacles can come up in any aspect of our lives, no matter how well they're going. Health, finances, it doesn't matter career-wise, it doesn't relationship-wise, it doesn't matter how well things are going. Trust me, I've been with my husband for over 33 years. There's times that things are working great, and there's times that there's obstacles that we have to learn to pivot around, maybe to re-examine things, to change up how we're doing things as a partnership, right? If that's life, there are those obstacles. The key is, do you know how to move around them? Do you know how to say, there's these signs that I'm getting, and there's these messages I'm getting, and my intuition is telling me, or this just happened and all of a sudden, bam, we're on lockdown from a pandemic. What is it that I need to do? What is it that no longer is serving me, no longer working for me, that I need to change up? And it doesn't matter how much time, energy, and money is energy, or emotions you have invested in the former process. It can be who your website host person is. Maybe you need to change that up. It could be as simple as, you know what? The grocery store I've gone to for the last 5 years is not telling people to make sure they wear a mask. And I want to protect my health and I want to protect other people's health. So maybe I need to change the grocery store I go to. It can be as simple as that. Or it could be, I've got to pivot my whole career because my career pre-pandemic is not going to be the career I want post-pandemic, right? But you have to be willing to be able to be fluid enough to where you can see the signs, read the signs, and act upon them. And then when you have one of those obstacles that come up, I don't care how much money you have, you can have an unexpected bill that comes up that takes your breath away for a second. It's like, really? It doesn't matter what area of your life or how well that area of your life is going. Life's going to give you things that come up that's going to force you to change up how you're doing things, which enables you to grow, which enables you to learn, which enables you then to go and teach someone else, right? Because when we learn and grow, we start sharing it, we teach it, we spread it, we tell everybody about it, right? Oh my gosh, I just read this new book about X and it's phenomenal. You need to read it. Or I just bought this new program that helps me with my business. And if you do this with business, you need to look into this program because the old one was no longer serving me. Or like I said, in our relationships, every relationship, be it your spouse, your children, your parents, your siblings, your extended family, your friends, your relationship with your community, there's always going to be moments of having to outmaneuver something that is coming your way. And right now, we've got a pandemic. We've got, in the US, we've got the elections, which are, that energy is still cycling around out there, right? And that energy of both of those things come into all aspects of our lives. And I don't care how much you meditate, I don't care how woo-woo you are, that energy is going to penetrate. And why is it going to penetrate? Because that energy is saying, learn, grow, move, change, become your highest potential. What was is no longer, and come into the new age, the new post-pandemic age, which technically we're actually beginning the age of Aquarius in December. So we're in this mode of who are you going to be in this new age? And that, for us as humans, we like comfort. We don't like change so much. So what does Spirit have to do? Spirit has to knock us on the shoulder and say, hey, here's an obstacle you're going to have to outmaneuver. Here's something you're going to have to figure out how to do in a different way. Here's something that you need to address. And especially when it comes to finances, health, and relationships, there's always something there that Spirit can say, you need to address this. You've been ignoring this, and it's been okay that you've been ignoring it, but you really need to address it now. And so I don't care what it is in what aspect of your life, that there are things coming up right now that the old ways just not working. The old tools aren't working anymore, or the old programs aren't working anymore, or there's just something not right about this anymore. Learning to outmaneuver those obstacles is key. And it's so important. I made a new freebie for you, just in order for you to grab. It's totally free, and it's 7 tips on how to outmaneuver those obstacles. I put it in the chat or in the comments below, depending on which social media platform you are right here. And so whatever it is that you're outmaneuvering, know that you can do it. Spirit wouldn't be telling you to change and to create new pathways if they weren't giving you the pathway to go down. But you have to learn to listen, and you have to learn to read the signs Spirit's giving you. It could be literally you're driving down the road and there's a billboard for a plumber, and you don't need a plumber, but the caption is the answer to the issue about something completely different in your life. Or it could be you keep seeing the same animal or insect or bird or whatever it is over and over again, and it's not something that is normal. Like every day I walk out my back door, I'm going to see squirrels. Now, for a squirrel to have a message to me, the squirrel has to physically come up to me and get my attention in a way that is not normal squirrel behavior. And then I know it's a message from squirrel. But so learn to read those signs and learn to pay really close attention in this time frame to your intuition, because it's so important. Being tuned in is so important, because when you're tuned in, you get those intuitive hits and you can pivot and you can outmaneuver things before they become even an obstacle. Just when they start having a little bit of rub that something's not quite right there, you'll start getting the intuitive hits if you're tuned in that, something needs tweaked here. Now, what could it be that needs tweaked? Okay, let me see, what could be tweaked? And you kind of do an inventory in your head, right? Of, okay, well, this really hasn't been working for me for a while. Or I hire this person to do my books, but there's just something, I don't know, the energy around them or something's changed. And I just don't know. Maybe I should look into a new bookkeeper or a new CPA or whoever it is that does your books. Whatever it is, when we learn to tune in and we very first key in on those hits of intuition, and then we start paying attention to the signs, and then we go in and we say, okay, what is this telling me? And we meditate on it, then outmaneuvering becomes this smooth glide. Instead of you ignoring, and then it's like a crash. And you're forced to deal with something right away, and it's not something that's small and easy. We've all had those where it's just like, bam, you hit that wall and you've got to do something about whatever area of your life that is about, right? And so when we learn to do it this way, we stave off those crashes. So grab my 7 tips to creating a smooth pathway and let me know what you think. And if you have any questions, email me or message me and ask, or put them in the comments below. But in the meantime, start paying attention to those signs and kind of take an inventory. What is not working right now? What is no longer working? And what is no longer working, but I'm like, oh, the pandemic's going to be over here in a little bit and then everything will be fine. And you're just kind of pushing it off. Because like I said, we're going into the new age, the age of Aquarius. And the age of Aquarius is a new beginning. It's not about going back to 2019. We're not going back to that normal. We are not going back to the fact that the way things worked then. We're heading into a new normal. And I know a lot of you don't like to hear that. But that's just how it is. As a human race, we never stay stagnant. We're always evolving. We're always growing. And in order to do that, we can't stay where we were. We can't go back to where we were. That's gone. Yesterday is gone. It's all about the now and the future. So start paying attention to those signs. Start learning how to smoothly outmaneuver those obstacles that do come in your pathway. So that, like I said, your pathway is this smooth glide. Oh, here's an obstacle. Let me go around it. As opposed to that crash. Because those crashes aren't very fun, are they? I've had a few myself. Wouldn't recommend them. So I hope this helps. And I hope you have a fabulous evening. Grab that freebie. And I will see you tomorrow. Take care. Expect miracles.